God seemed to want to give you an object lesson. Yesterday, there were flash floods in Soweto. 3 children were killed. And I haven't seen that extent of damage. I mean, in a very short space of time, homes were... Now you heard Kofi say that although the global south, generally the poor countries, it's just a nice word for saying poor countries. Global south means us, poor. Yes, global south are the ones who are the vulnerable ones, are the ones who are clobbered most of all. Well, now if you go to Soweto, I can bet you your bottom dollar, none of those people there have insured their homes against storm damage. Now just think of what's going to happen to them in trying to rebuild. Waar gaan die geld kom? Waar vandaan? Kofi, do you understand that?
No, I need an interpreter.
Where is the money going to come from?
That I understand.
Yeah. Where is the money going to come from? Where is the money going to come from? And the point that is being made is that those least responsible bear the greater brunt, the greatest brunt. And you who are clever people and study these things have already seen the changes in weather patterns. I mean, look at the floods in Mozambique. And then the drought over there, and they clobber most of all those who are not able, who haven't got the capacity to recover. I mean, you're getting floods in England and so on. There was somebody very clever at lunch when we mentioned this. He said they've pointed out that most of the natural disasters, 90% of the natural disasters happen in the global south, where only 3% are insured. In the north, only 10% of the disasters happen there, and 95% of the people are insured. So you see, the weakest is bearing the greatest brunt. The weakest, unable, they haven't got the resources. The weakest who depend usually on their agriculture. Many of them are subsistence farmers, depending on a regular pattern of weather. There isn't a regular pattern of weather now. There isn't. They're speaking about rogue patterns. I've just returned from Switzerland and Norway, and they're saying there that they have never had, I mean, the last time they had snowfalls as heavy as the ones they have now, several years ago. They are able to deal with all of the consequences. I mean, if it is too hot, nee man, I can just go inside the house and I switch on my air conditioning. What do you do in Dingersdaso? I mean, when you live in Polokwane, in a hut, and it is blistering hot. How do you say, no, use water. Where does the water come from? Because, well, finding now that we are having polluted water sources, maybe actually the next wars are going to be fought, no, not maybe. They're going to be fought over reducing resources. Water. Water is going to be more precious than gold. Because we can't survive without water for too long. So, there you are. If you wanted a reason for this climate justice campaign, you have it. That the ones who are the culprits mostly are able to protect themselves, ameliorate the consequences of the Chickalgaggles. And the poor who aren't, I mean, what, let's say 3%, I mean, they say Africa has been responsible since 1900 for only 3% of the carbon emissions. And those of you who are committed to human rights, and you'll hear how passionate Mary gets when she speaks about these things, you'll say that is totally unacceptable.
Archbishop, I'm going to say that is a perfect introduction for us. Thank you for doing my job for me.
See?